Hey everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com, and it's time for our next Saturday with Stacy YouTube class number 384. We are die cutting, we are stamping. I've got new launches for you. Launches that have not been available to anyone else in the United States. I've got a worldwide launch still going on. Oh my gosh, we have got Slimline products for you. If you have been thinking about getting into the Slimline die cutting or stamping products, wait till you see what I have for you and wait till you see the price. There is a reason why I did not do Slimline dies in my Simply Defined brand. I did not, and I don't plan on it. Why? Because I have a manufacturer who has done them, and at such a wonderful price, I would rather buy them from them and support them than coming out with my own. I've got stampendas who've made the most beautiful Slimline stamps. Oh my gosh, I have got a Sizzix bundle for you, a machine bundle. But okay, we're getting way ahead of ourselves, way ahead. I need to do winner chicken dinner first so that then I can move on. All right, so I have two winners who posted a comment in YouTube, 383. Their comment was approved because they said something kind or just generic. And our random software has chosen them to win a $25 gift card. Now, if you want a chance to be a winner chicken dinner, you have to subscribe. There's a little heart somewhere in this vicinity, and if you put your cursor over it, you will see a subscribe button comes up. I would so appreciate it if you would subscribe. I need to get to 100,000 followers. My teenage boys, it is a goal. Every girl has to have a goal, and what parent doesn't want their kids to think that they're wahoo kachoo? So if you wouldn't mind subscribing, it would make my heart very, very happy. So these lucky ladies, they are a subscriber. They left a comment on this YouTube. Their YouTube the comment was polite. We approved it, and now they have $25 in their online account all ready to go spend. Consider it an early, a happy Valentine's Day gift from me to you. Who doesn't want $25 to buy something that's going to make their heart happy? Okay. Oh, I just looked at the names. For those of you who don't know, I am severely dyslexic, so reading this some of the names are sometimes very, very hard for me. It's quite a challenge, but I am dyslexic and it is what it is. So these two lucky ladies, I'm apologizing in advance, but it really doesn't matter because you've won, so you'll forgive me. And God loves a trier, and I certainly do try to get the names right. Our first winner is Constanza. It's about as close as I'm going to get to being accurate. Her last name is Ortuzar. Constanza Ortuzar. Constanza, is that anywhere close to being right? And if it isn't, are you gonna forgive me? Yes, yes you are. Why? Because you are a winner chicken dinner and has received a $25 gift card. Woohoo kachoo! Now, our next winner is Teresa. That was easy. Botos? Teresa Botos? Is that you, Teresa? Because if it is, you're also a winner chicken dinner, and I know you've forgiven me for not pronouncing your name right if I got it wrong. I'm sure. Both of you were like, yeah, whatever she said. The point is, the paper had my name on it. Wahoo. Okay, so now we have to do our winner chicken dinner dance. Are you ready? You're a winner chicken dinner. You're a winner chicken dinner. Wahoo. Kachoo. For you. Way to go, girls. You don't have to do anything to claim your prize. All you have to do is go online and you will see that there is a store credit already placed in your account. If you want a chance to be a winner chicken dinner, all you have to do is subscribe. There's a little heart. Put your cursor over it. A little subscribe bar will come up. Click that. We are trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. I am not there yet. It is a slow and steady pace. God loves a trier, and I keep trying. My two teenage boys are egging me on to get to 100,000 subscribers, And so what mom doesn't want to have their kids, you know, like, hey, my mom has 100,000 followers on YouTube. All right, so I've got a ton for you today. I have got Find It Trading Slimline dies. I don't think they're anywhere in the US yet. I've got Find It Trading Slimline dies at a price that is going to drop your, well, that's going to knock your socks off. Then I have paper from Paper Favorites that is slimline size, that is beautifully breathtaking. Then I have Stampendous stamps that are slimline in size, that again are Stampendous' best. You know, they really, the first 6 designs they have done, mwah, beautiful. I've got a bundle from Sizzix, a die cutting machine bundle. And I haven't done a die cutting machine bundle with Sizzix for quite some time. The last time we did it was for the shop that did not hop, or our warehouse sale in July. So those orders, we've got the first 200 orders upstairs. The second 200 orders, the pay laters have been sent up, and we will start moving those second 200 orders upstairs on Monday, and then we'll move into start billing out the next 200 and so on and so forth. So if you have a machine on those and any of those orders, those machines will be sent out to you as soon as we get to your order in line. So I didn't do another bundle until we started shipping out the machines from that sale. So now we are, and I literally just emailed, I texted Ellison. Seriously, 15 minutes, I'm gonna go and find my text. 15 minutes before I started taping. Okay, so this is my text to Mr. Big Shot, and I think we might call him Victorious Victor. He's the new guy at Sizzix, at Ellison. Sizzix Stacy has moved on, so now I think we have Victorious Victor, because that guy, his name is Victor, and he's going to get to that goal line one way or another. He is going to make it happen. He's so funny. And he's a crafter too. And then I have Sizzix Sarah. So this text went out to all 3 of them. From me, this is what I wrote. Best bundle price to drop ship a Big Shot and magnetic platform. Taping in 15 minutes. Let me know if we can do it or not. It's like, don't give them too much time to think about it, you know? Drop it in at the last minute so they don't have too much time to hem and haw and negotiate. And so she got back to me. Sizzix Sarah got back to me. Your bundle MSRP is $159.98, which is true. That's what a Big Shot machine would be, and a magnetic platform. If you bought them separately, that they would come to $159.98. What if you offer the magnetic platform for free? So they buy the Big Shot machine at $119.99 and get the magnetic platform, which is $40 for free. I haven't responded yet. What do you think? Should we do it? So I've got a Sizzix Big Shot machine and magnetic platform for a price that is like unheard of, and it'll drop ship straight from Ellison, and we're doing our best to stay within right around our 30-day time frame. So you'll have it either as a post Valentine's Day gift, or a pre-Mother's Day gift, or a pre-Father's Day gift, you know, pre-birthday gift, whatever. But that is a rock star price, and I really, literally, seriously, I got to make sure that it was done 15 minutes before I started to tape. Because really, don't give them too much time to think. Woohoo! Okay, so lots to do, lots to play with. Some of it's going to be a repetition for some of you. It's going to be, you know, a little bit repetitive, but we have to start with die cutting, and we have to assume that not everybody knows how to die cut. So I'm going to start with that, And then we're going to move on to stamping and the Find It trading. I'm going to show you their dies first. I'm actually going to show you the dies and I'm going to show you the Stampendous stamps because the Find It trading dies are limited. We are very limited into how many we have. There's 4 of them, and I do have an I Want It All bundle for all 4, or you can buy the ones that just make your heart happy. For those of you who follow Slimline, you know that Slimline dies can run anywhere on average about $25 a die. Some are a little more, some are a little less. Sometimes you can get them for $22.50. Sometimes they're as high as $30 for a Slimline die. So Remco, my good friend Remco at Find It Trading. Remember, I found it at Find It. That was years ago in Germany. He sent me over images before these were even manufactured, and he said, what do you think? And I said, I love them, but how much are they? He said, well, let's talk. So we Skyped, and I am able to bring you these dies for $14.99 each. Really, $14.99 for Slimline dies. Now you can understand why I didn't manufacture them myself. There was no reason to. I only manufacture product if I can't find it anywhere else or there's a design I want to do that nobody else has. There is no reason for me to manufacture Slimline dies if I can bring them to you for that price. And these are the first 4. I think there's 8 more. He's supposed to send me the line drawings for the next 8 to see what I think about them. I would rather support a manufacturer who supports me than go around them by designing my own product and stepping on top of them and over them. And then when I need them for something and they're gone, well, I helped put them out of business by doing that. So, not doing Slimline stamps either. There's no reason. Wait till you see the Stampendous stamps. I've got a world of yummies in this YouTube for you. So we're going to tilt down and we're going to get started for today. Are you ready? Down we go. Bye, everybody. Victorious Victor. Do I like that? I've got to let it sit with me for a little bit. He's the new guy at Sizzix at Ellison. And first off, he's not crazy about texting, which makes my heart happy because I stink at it. I'd rather talk to somebody on the phone. And he just will, he's not going to let that ball drop. He's going to get it over the goal line one way or the other. So I want to show you a couple samples. The paper that we used here is the paper favorites that I'm going to show you, and some of the opulent paper from Sizzix. The die is one of Remco's dies from Find It Trading. Beautiful, right? Then, wait, I gotta put it back where it, so I don't forget. Then I have this one. This was done with a Stampendous stamp. Beautiful, right? And opulent paper on the background. Now I think the opulent mystical may be sold out. I know we still have the mystical cardstock available, and that is a worldwide launch. So beautiful. Oh, somebody's getting pulled over. Somebody's just now having a bad day. And then there's this one. What do we think of that? Again, done with the dies from Find It Trading. This is a Versus stamp. It's the mystical cardstock that we have the worldwide launch on from Sizzix. How pretty is that? Love, love, love. Okay, so like I said, I think I'm going to start showing with the deco dies because they are limited. We only have so many, and if you like them, I want you to be able to get them. They are Slimline. They are nested. They give you additional elements, and they are on sale for $14.99. This one is, they're calling it balloons because it's got a few little balloons down. There's one. Then we have this one here, which is called Clouds. Now that one, this card here was done with that die there. So you can see the edge. Look at that opulent paper. Does that look good? That's opulent cardstock and mystical, or cardstock and the opulent mystical. But that's the edge on this die. And again, you've got nesting dies, and then you've got decor dies, and then you've got element dies in there. Then we have the hearts, which are done. These are little scallopy with little holes in them. So cute. So cute. All the extras, $14.99 a die. And then this is their edges. So these can be used on any size paper. You could use these edges to do clouds, to build scenes. You've got different grasses. You've got wavies and all sorts of stuff in a slimline size, but also you could use it for a A2 card, a 5x7 card, because they're smaller. This is a wonderful set for $14.99. So this is the 4, and please remember, we are limited. I do have them on an I Want It All bundle for you, but we could only get so many this go round, as they are coming in from Holland. These come in from Holland. So we're going to start with these today, and then just quickly, the 6, let's see, the 6 stamps. This is the birthday stamp from Stampendous, and we've got the leaf stamp, all slimline size. We've got the beautiful, beautiful floral that made this card. We've got a vintage postcard. Wait till you see what they did with this one. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. And then the big floral. So those are all in from Stampendous at a fabulous price. And then I've got Paper Favorites, which is a paper company out of Denmark. And again, all slimline size. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring over my Big Shot machine, and we're going to talk about that for just a moment. This is a Sizzix Big Shot machine. If you are unfamiliar with die cutting, please go look at YouTube number 355. I believe it's 355. It's the latest do's and don'ts of the Big Shot machine. It now comes with a base plate and a shim. This is the only thing that you are going to need to be able to do all sorts of different dies. So these are in place of what was a multi-purpose platform. Then you're going to get, and mind you, yours will be beautiful and crystal clear, you're going to get 2 cutting pads. And mine have been used and loved. Yours are going to be brand spanking new and crystal clear. But after a while, this is what they're going to look like. So everything that you need to make the machine work from the get-go is included with the machine. But I wanted to throw in the magnetic platform because we are going to be using it today. This is a $40 value. This is what it costs, 40 bucks. It's usually a want and not a need because it's kind of pricey. But if you can get the machine and the platform for $119.99 plus their shipping, it can't be shipped for free. It's too bulky, it's too heavy. But if you can get the whole shebang for that price, that is a value that I think you will be very, very, very happy with. Now I'm going to start by die cutting. And I'm going to be using the magnetic platform for most of today. So let me take my base plate and shim out, and let's bring over one of the dies. Okay. So slimline die. All the rage. Does it fit on your Big Shot? Yes, it does. So it's not any larger than the standard platform that comes with your machine. You don't have to buy anything larger to make it work. You can see why the magnetic platform is so nice. If I were to put this on the platforms that come with it, I would need the base platform plus the shim, because I am doing something called a wafer style die. See how thin that is? It's called a wafer style die. Put my cut plate down, put my die on it, but there's nothing magnetic about it. So this die can move anywhere and everywhere. If you're using paper that is so close to the size of your die, you will need to use some washi tape to tape it down so that it does not move. However, on a magnetic platform, you don't have to worry about that. It just holds in place. So what makes this die cut? Well, the little ridges. There's little ridges on this die, and that is what allows it to cut. One side is completely flat, and one side has these little ridges on them. Let me cut a piece of paper real quick. Let's just grab a piece of the Sizzix Opulent. No, this isn't Opulent. This is the Sizzix cardstock. The mystical cardstock that goes with the Opulent mystical, which we are sold out of. I believe we're sold out. Now, this is like by the hair of a chinny chin. How close do you want to come to getting it? Let me cut a big piece where you don't have to think about it. Okay, so I've got my paper down, and I've cut enough paper around the die that I don't really have to think about making sure it doesn't move at all, because I got lots of wiggle room. And because it's just cardstock, if my die is slightly off center like that, it's okay. You're just cutting cardstock. There's no pattern in here that's going to say, oh, you cut it crooked. So you're fine. The ridges of the die have to be face down. So my sandwich is my magnetic platform, one cut plate, one piece of paper, one die, and then ideally you have something called a do not cut plate, which it's not sold as a do not cut plate. It's a separate plate that you never cut into. Can you see the difference between these two? This used to look as clean and as clear as this one, but as this one gets cut into, it's going to get cloudy, it's going to warp. I have a second set of plates that I never try to cut into, and I put that on top, and what that does is that gives me a nice smooth surface for this to go into my Sizzix Big Shot machine. Now, for my do not cut plates, I happen to be using my exclusive glitter cut plates, and we're sold out of those. But Sizzix has blue ones and purple ones and mint ones and gold glittery ones. Pick a different color to use for your do not cut plate so you don't get them confused. Now, when I send this through, you may hear some creaks and some cracks. Not bad. And depending on who you are, you may want to send it back. It's an open frame die, so it has no intricacy to it. You don't need to use a precision base plate. You don't really need to go back and forth if you don't want to, because the die is so easy to use. And just like that, I've got my die cut, and it's got that pretty edge. It even has little pinpoints on that pretty edge. And there is my first slimline die cut. So pretty. But remember, I cut my paper this way, and I had lots and lots of excess. The cardstock from Ellison from Sizzix, I believe, is now in A4 cardstock, which means it's a little bit longer and a little bit narrower. So I could try to take it from the side this way to conserve paper. Because remember, I'm just there. I am just at that place where it's almost too big. Bring my Big Shot machine back over. This is where that magnetic platform comes in handy, because once I line my die up on my paper, and I'm sure it fits, I don't have to worry about it moving. Because it's held down by that magnetic platform. Let's put it in. I've got my do not cut plate on top. And again, if you're not familiar with a die cut machine, by all means, I believe it's $355. It is a YouTube that has over 800,000 views on it. And it is, I have 3 do's and don'ts of the Sizzix Big Shot machine over the course of several years as they've added new tools and things like that. So that would be the latest and greatest to go look at. It is long like all of my YouTubes, but it is a class on how to use their machine and what the different tools are. Oh yeah, baby, look at that. I mean, just by the hair of a chinny chin chin. And again, if I had a hair on my chinny chin chin, you all would be sending me emails. Stacy, you got a little something something. So easy to do. Easy to do. But remember, these nest. I don't just get one die, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, and then little accents for my $14.99. What if I took this one and let's grab some of the paper from Paper Favorites. So this is a company out of Denmark. They do 6x6 paper pads, and they have just started doing Slimline paper pads. And the paper is beautiful. Oh, I can't cut that one small. We're gonna cut that one big. That's too pretty to cut small. Do I have something that would match that paper? Oh, I feel so bad cutting this down. Let's see about this one. They have 6 new paper collections. Ooh. Oh yeah, I don't feel bad about cutting that one down at all. Oh, that's pretty. 6 new paper collections. You get 8 designs. You get 3 sheets of all 8 designs for a total of 24 sheets. And like I said, 6 different paper collections. And I'm gonna keep this paper out because this paper is beautiful. Beautiful. And I'm gonna play with that too. Holy smokes, artichokes. Okay, so let's take my next size down. What if we did the big one? Oh, but then I could use that. I have options. I have so many options. I do. That's almost too much for me. Okay. Let's just cut this one the way it is. And let me bring it over. So this is the next size down in that die set. Too many options. Don't you just love when you have options? Anytime a crafter can utilize a product in more than one way, makes that product then more valuable to the crafter. You only have so many, so much in your crafty budget, and you have to make it work for you. So you want to find products from manufacturers where they have given you ample opportunity to make the most of something. And I do believe that is what Find It has done with their Slimline dies. Anytime you have nesting dies, you have opportunity. Okay. Oh, look at how pretty is this. And then put a piece of pink across and stamp a sentiment. I mean, this is beautiful. Beautiful, and it matches perfectly with that Sizzix mystical cardstock. Beautiful. But that left me this. What can I do with this? what if I came back over here and I don't have to be spot on my cutting. And what if I put that on there and used that? Right? So I didn't waste anything. I got the center out of here and then I backed that. And it's beautiful. What if I backed it with a piece of white and I stamped in it? I mean, just so many options. But then I was thinking, what if, now let's trade. Let's do something. Let's do another one. Because I still have one more. I still have one more size. I could have gone down. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 nesting dies. And then I have a decor die that puts windows in. Ooh, ooh, ooh. What if I did this one? Let's play with this one. Okay, and do I want to cut this yet? Do I like that? Do I want to cut? Because, gosh, if you cut this, that just makes the most... Okay, I'm just going to cut this because it's beautiful. Not for any other reason than I like it. So I've got my magnetic platform that if you order it with your machine, if you get the bundle that we're going to have for you, you're going to get the magnetic platform for free. You're going to pay your $119.99 for your machine, and the magnetic platform is free. That is a $40 value. That is a wahoo ka-choo. Okay, look at how tight it is. Like by the hair of a chinny chin chin. Literally, the hair of a chinny chin chin. This is the paper from Paper Favorites. Line it up. This is where having that magnetic platform is going to make your life a whole lot easier. Bring my machine over. There are our sirens. Not an SMS YouTube if we don't have sirens. That's because my office is literally right on the street. It's really not my office. It's Mr. SMS's office that he allows me to borrow. Oh, did I move it? Ooh, I did. He allows me to borrow it when I'm YouTubing. Let's just, can I squish it back over? Squish, squish, squish. Squish, squish, squish. I don't know that I can. Because I'm already through. Well, we're just going to go for it. What can we do? I'll cut another one. Squish, squish, squish. Told you it says. Oh, see, and I moved it again. Look at that. Maybe I need to put it on a slight angle so I don't get the ka-thumps and it doesn't rotate. Oh, yeah. Did you hear that ka-thump? I know it's loud. That's because my die is parallel to the wheel of the roller of the machine. So I know this one cut off. Should have put, oh, it's close. Nope, it did. Yep, cut off just a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna save this one, but I'm gonna do another one. Let's go grab, I like that paper. Do I have another one of those? I do. Oh, I do, I like that paper. We're gonna try it again. Okay, so maybe this time I put it on a slight angle so I don't get as much ka-thump. And hopefully it doesn't rotate when I start sending it through. It's as tight as can be. But I'm gonna be okay. We're just gonna go for it. Line it up. Oh, put my do not cut on top. Maybe that's what I did. Did I have my do not cut plate on top? Let's bring it over and let's try again. Now this time it's not going to be as loud because I've got my die on an angle. and roll, 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 roll all the way to the end. And then bring back, 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 back. And let's see if I came close. I mean, when we're talking, there's not much left. I mean, there's not much left. Huh. Okay, so I need to get that little piece right there. Can you see it didn't cut right there? So I'm just gonna put this right back on my machine. I'm not gonna take it out. I'm just gonna roll that little piece right through. I don't have to worry about the rest of it. I'm just gonna roll that in. 1, 2, and out. And now it should be cut. Oh, it is. Okay. So pretty. Let me grab my little tweezers. Oh, almost all the little pieces came out. Just go zoop, 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 to get all the little zoop. I do not sit there and go zoom 1, 1, 1. I go zoop. And all my little dotties fall out. Oh my gosh, this paper is beautiful. Okay, so what am I gonna do with the paper? Because I gotta do something with it. It's too pretty not to. Let's bring over my mystical collection. Again, this is the worldwide launch from Sizzix. This is what we still have left, is the cardstock. Oh, do we like that? Or do we like that? Or do we like the pink? I think I like the dark. Let's grab a little bit of Stacy tape real quick just to tape it down. And then I'm going to freehand it. I know you all want me to get a trimmer. I am sorry. I have a trimmer. I do. And I know it would be faster to use a trimmer, and that then you wouldn't have to watch me cut paper. But it's not me. I'm not that girl. I like to just freehand it. Even when I'm off, it's a handmade card. There, that wasn't so bad, was it? But look at that paper. Is that not gorgeous? And then look at, you've got the little dotties. All done. That's almost a card all by itself. Put a sentiment on it and you are good to go. But what if I took my dotty? Oh, again, that's so close. Do I give it a try? Nope, that's no, I don't think it's gonna work. Let's grab another sheet. Let's grab the lighter purple. Oh, I love this. What if I grab my lighter purple and I cut my dotty. Easy peasy, right? I had a change of plan. What if I cut my dotty out of that? Okay, so I just picked another piece of beautiful paper. It's so pretty, I just can't help myself. And then I slide it up just a wee bit, just so it's not on that very, very, very edge. Come on, just a wee bit up. Oh, I can go way up. Okay, there we go. So it's on the magnetic platform so it doesn't move. Once I get it lined up, I'm going to leave it alone. I think that looks pretty good. I've got my do not cut plate on top. I'm on my magnetic platform. I'm going to send it on through. Forward. And then up to you if you want to bring it back. Let's see how I did. Oh, see, I didn't get the bottom. I'd have to stick it back in, line it back up. And all I care about is the bottom. All I care about is die cutting that little bottom piece. And send that on through. 1, 2. There we go. Oh, it moved. Ah, drat. Oh, okay. It moved. All right, I'll just do it on regular paper. Oh, drat, drat, drat. So let's see, line it on up. Send it on through. Ooh, nope. Yeah, no, I'm okay. But I'm going to have to go back and do the other side. I'm just going to pull this up a little bit. I can already tell you that the bottom is probably not quite cut because it's right on the edge of that platform. And put it back on and send it on through. There we go. Now, if you're lucky enough to have an extended platform or a longer one, well, you're not going to have any issue at all. And I can see that it didn't quite cut right there because it's just on that very edge. On that very edge of the platform. So there's just not quite enough pressure. Not a problem. I'm just going to go back in and cut. Yes, now it's done. Pull it out. Okay, so get my little zoop, zoop, zoop. Just kind of run it along. And get out all my little holes. Or a good chunk of them. You might have to go back in and pop 1 or 2 of them out yourself. But for the most part, that sure does make it a lot faster. Okay, so what am I going to do with this one now? Well, remember I had an idea all that long time ago? What if I take the next size down and I put it there? So what if I take the next size down and I center it. And I put it there. And I send it through. Doesn't move. Let's see if I need to cut it twice. Oh no, that looks really good. Really nice because it's more centered. It's not extended all the way out to the edge of my platform. It's setting a little bit closer in, so the pressure is a little bit better. Now I've got a frame. Waha! Ha 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 ha! Now I've got a frame. Ha ha ha! And I've got my piece here. But I still have one more die here that's smaller. And what if I came in and did one more? So many options. Send it on through. It looks great. So now I have made another frame, which you can use. I could put this frame here. No, I don't want to put it on there. That's too close. That doesn't quite match. Oh, but I could put it here. Oh yeah, look at the layering capabilities. Do you want to make a solid piece? Do you want to make a frame? Do you want to use the border that was left over from the original die cut to make a frame? What do you want to do? You have options. So now I've got this little one, and this little one can go, so here's the biggest one there. And then I could put the little one there if I wanted. It's almost criminal to cover up that paper, right? I agree. So I've got that one to take care of that and make that beautiful. I've got this one to frame out those flowers even more. I still have this one left. And remember, I've only cut from one piece of paper. This all came out of one piece of paper. Holy smokes, artichokes. And because all of their dies are nesting, you have that option with all the sets. The 3 sets that have nesting capabilities, each one of them will work. Each one of them will work. What if I took this one, which is the one I started with, and, oh, hello, how are you? Oh, see, then I get sidetracked. What if I took this size? See, I just said squirrel to myself. I just totally got sidetracked. But what if I took this one and cut this one? And then I'm going to take pretty is that? But what I really am, and then I'm left with this piece. I'm left with this piece, which also would fit on this one so beautifully. Or this one. But what if I then took the smallest one out of the same background? So far I have used the largest one to cut my pink, the medium one to cut here, and now I'm going to use the smallest one. And remember, the piece here was the negative. It was negative from this piece right here, so no waste. But now I'm going to cut the smallest one. And what if I cut it out of this one? Can you see the options that you have available to you? Is your mind going, woo, and we haven't started to stamp yet? Wait, that comes next. I'm gonna finish this one cut and then we are gonna move on. But I just had to finish. Stop laughing, Doris. That's SMS girl Doris. Ooh, there's the smallest one. And what if I put that in the center of this one? So pretty. And I've only used, it's all out of one sheet of paper. And I have this one left, which can then sit on that one. I mean, really, options are aplenty. And I have to tell you, if you haven't seen it yet, I mean, if you're not with me on this yet, the paper from Paper Favorites really is beautiful. It is beautiful. And it is ready for Slimline. I mean, it's beautiful. They have so many different colors. We've got all, look at, it's beautiful. We have 6 different packs. And I mean, the stripe pack, look at how happy is this? Doesn't this just say spring? Love it. So we played with those Slimline dies, and remember, you're only spending $14.99 for them, which for a Slimline die is a really, really good value. If you're on a budget and you only have $15 a month to spend on crafty stuff, I get it. I understand. It is all about keeping crafting affordable. And I do believe that we were able to achieve that. I just can't put that in there. But I can put this one on top of that one. I guess it's a matter of, you know, what really makes your heart happy, but you've got options and they're all Slimline size, and that is the craze right now. And I have these left over to do something else with. And this one left over because the frames are equally as beautiful. I could take that one off and put that one on there. I don't know. It's a mix and match. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay. So we played with the Slimlines for a while. Now we need to incorporate the dies, the Slimline dies. And Stampendous has put together a lovely set of Slimline stamps for you. I'm sorry, Slimline stamps. They've done a lovely job. Like I said, there's 6 new, well, there's 6 of them. This is the beginnings of their collection. And I think I'm gonna play with this one. I like floral. Oh boy, Mr. SMS's table. Now they do make a block, and we do have an I Want It All bundle where you'll get all 6 stamps plus the block. Block is nice to have, even if you don't use it for your Slimlines. It's just nice to have a block that size. And we don't actually have anything that size. You could get away with using a brand new cutting pad. Where's my pretty clean, lovely, beautiful, new. You could get away with using a stamp pad, cutting plate from your die cutting machine as well, but gosh, the block is so darn inexpensive. I can't remember if it's $7.99, but it's on sale and it's part of the I Want It All bundle, so it is nice to have. Now, when I stamp with these, I'm going to be playing with white paper right now, and I'm going to show you a couple different ways of doing it. Most times when we stamp with, I want to make sure that I have enough, we stamp with black ink or a darker ink. And that's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with a darker ink. So I've got over my Hero Hues India ink black. I'm just going to ink it up. These are a rubber stamp. The quality is amazing. It's Stampendous. They've been around forever. They have to be one of the longest companies, stamping companies in business. God bless Fran. I'm going to put my paper down on top, and then I'm going to give it a nice press. Now, I was thinking about this the other day because you really could take like an eraser from your chalkboard or a dry erase, but then I had this in my hand, and I'm like, if you don't have, if your hands won't go flat, let's say you've got some arthritis, as we're getting older, we all do. What if I just took my stamp pad and just used that? I hadn't thought about that. And then it dawned on me, I suppose I could just do that. And poof, there's my image. Now I could take and color my image. And look at that. So, what if I did color this image? And I'm going to move my die cutting machine over just a little bit, and I'm going to bring over, I think I'm going to bring over my, well, I'll do both just so you can see both. So I have my watercolor pencils, and it says watercolor pencils, and I have my colored pencils. It does not say water anywhere on here. These are my Brazil. They're beautiful. This is what we sell. They're absolutely gorgeous, but they work totally different. We have, I think, the 12, the 24, and the 36 pack. Watercolor pencils are not the same as colored pencils. If you have the Prisma colored pencils, those are not watercolor pencils. There's a big difference. They both will give you a beautiful look. It really depends upon what makes your heart happy on how to apply color to a project. So I'm going to move these and put these on there for right now. And I'm going to open up my watercolor pencil. Very pretty colors. First thing to know about watercolor pencils is your watercolor pencils never actually touch water. Never. You do not take your watercolor pencil and then dip it into water and then try and come over here and color. That is not how watercolor pencils work. Watercolor pencils, they want you to color, color, color. And then you take some water, and I'm just going to put a little bit of water right here on my craft mat. There's just a little bit of water right here. And I'm going to pick that up with my paintbrush, and I'm going to take that pencil and make it into a paint. Look at that. So it went from looking very much like a pencil, like a crayon almost. Oh, did I just add a little water? And that water is what makes your paint. But you don't take your pencil and put your pencil into water, and while your paint is wet, you don't take your pencil back over the top. What can happen if you do that? Well, sometimes, often, if you go back in and you try to add some color because you wanted it darker, you end up leaving scratches that sometimes cannot get blended out. Yeah, see, I scratched it right there. And I'm not going to be able to blend that scratch out. So with watercolor, you go in, and negative space is very, very important when playing with watercolor. Is that going to stay there? Okay. Negative space is very important. What's negative space? Well, let's go in and let's color. Let's just do some small ones. So I'm going to scribble some color down here, and I'm going to scribble some color down here, and down here, and in there, and some color down there. So, see how much color I've put on that flower? That's all the color I'm going to do right now. I need this white space so that I can draw that color out to give me highlights and midtones and shadings and shadows. A little bit of water. You certainly can get yourself a little cup of water. And you'll see me touching my paintbrush all the time. That's because I'm pulling water off. I don't want my paintbrush too wet. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to pull off that paint that I just moved. And every time I pull off a little bit of that paint, it lightens the color, giving me the shading and the shadows that I want. So bam, go in. The color's going to be most intense towards the bottom, and as I pull that color out, I take it off my paintbrush, and I keep pulling it out, and it lightens that color every time I pull it off my paintbrush and I go back down. It lightens that color, giving me that highlight and that midtone and that shading. Watercoloring is very fast. You can color a whole lot of stuff really quick. And I want those highlights and those midtones. I want it to look like I took a Copic marker and did it, only I didn't take a Copic marker. And I just used one pencil. I have not used multiple pencils to get my shading. I'm doing all of that by taking the water off my paintbrush. Bam. Now, what if you say, well, Stacy, I want it darker. What if I want it more intense down in the center? That's fine. You just do a palette paint. So I'm going to put some paint right over here because I'm going to die cut that off anyway. Put a little water, go in and pick up that color, and then I can go add color back. It is the easiest way to add color back into a watercolor work of art, because this is your art, while the paint is still wet. And I can go back, I can add different colors. I could use a darker red if I wanted to go back in and add more shadow. Maybe I want it to be more intense towards the center. Watercolor painting, super fast, super easy. Can you blend colors? Of course you can. Here, oh, let's do something dramatic. Let's do a blue and a green and a yellow. Three colors. Let's clean my brush off. And sure I can blend colors. Blend away. So let's come back here and let's take and maybe do a little bit of green. So I'm going to add a little bit of green to the bottoms. A little bit of greens to the bottoms. A little bit of water. And let's pull that green out. I'm not really paying much attention. I'm just doing it. Done. If I wanted to add a darker green, it's almost an olive green. Pick up a little bit of that, and I could add that in if I wanted. And blend those colors together. Add a little more definition to my okay. So there you go. Watercoloring Basics 101. Really simple. Be forgiving to yourself. Stamp something and just play. Just play. Be forgiving to yourself. But what if I wanted to use colored pencils? Well, colored pencils are completely different. So I'm going to show you those super fast, and then we're going to move on. This is for those who have never seen this before. So these are colored pencils. They look very much the same. Same colors, but they behave much differently. These do not work with water at all. These are a pigmented waxy type of a pencil that, same thing, they kind of look like a crayon when you color with it. But if you add water to this, it's not going to do anything. It's not meant to do anything. It just kind of sits. It'll smear a little bit, but it's not meant to blend. How do you use watercolor or regular colored pencils? If you want to go in there and have that same type of shading and shadow, you use something called Gamsol. This is also known as mineral spirits. It is not an alcohol. It's not like a hand sanitizer, so I don't want people to think it is. It's a mineral spirits that allows the pencil to dissolve and smooth out. So let's take it right here. And we use it with something called stubbies. And this is just a compressed paper. And we put a little bit of Gamsol. You can see the Gamsol go right on it. And I'll do just half of this, so you can see the difference. So the Gamsol has melted the wax in that pencil so that it smooths it out. It will give you a similar look, but you use it differently. If I wanted to go in here, I could go in and same thing, you need to leave white space. This time I'm doing the side of the flower. and I'm just coloring. So I've left a lot of white space. I take my little stubby, I take my Gamsol, and I pull that color out. And I'm pulling it off to the side where that white space is. And that Gamsol is dissolving that pencil and moving it. Again, easy way to color. Now, besides the fact that you don't use water with a colored pencil, there is one other very big difference. Since it is not wet, you can go in, done. You can go in and add more color to it right away. If I wanted to intensify my color, I could go in and add more color to it right away. I don't have to wait until the paper's dry, and you don't do any palette painting because it's really not going to pick up. And then I can just soften that out and make that even more intense. So it really does depend upon which you prefer to work with. Sometimes you might be sometimes you feel like a nut, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you might want to work with the water, and sometimes you may just want to work with the Gamsol. Sometimes you may not be able to handle the way the Gamsol sounds. Some people don't like the way it sounds on the paper. But it is beautiful and it works fast. Can you mix your colors? Yes. So let's do this little flower here, and I'm gonna do I'll do a little yellow at the tops, little yellow at the top, and a little red at the bottom, still leaving negative space. You got to give that pencil, whether it be watercolor or just colored pencil, you got to give it someplace to move to. So just a little bit of yellow and a little bit of red. Get my Gamsol. Let's pull my red out. Pulled my red out, and let's pull my yellow in so that it meets that red. Okay. Ta-da! Do you see how fast and easy that was? Awesome. Do you want more red? Go back in and you can add your red back in. And then I can slightly pull it out. And blend it and make it more intense. And then let's just do a simple brown center. Ta-da! You can do this. It's easy. You've got these new Slimline stamps that allow you to go in and color They fit the dies beautifully. We've used watercolor pencils and regular pencils. But now we want to go a little bit more advanced, okay? This you can do. You're like, I got that. I got that. Okay, let's change it up a little bit. This time I want it to look a little more like it was hand-drawn versus having that harsh black around it. Now, the black is good, depending on what you're trying to accomplish, but what if you wanted something that looked a little bit more hand-drawn? I really need to learn to put my pencils away. Let's get out, let's use the same stamp. And let's take another piece of white paper. And this time, I'm not going to use black. I'm either going to use a very light beige or a very light gray. These are Memento Inks. These are the dewdrop sizes. These are the only two colors that are going to be part of the YouTube Yummy. We use the gray when we're doing blues and purples and pinks and cooler colors, and we use the beige, or this is toffee crunch, and this is gray flannel. We use the toffee crunch when we are doing warmer colors, greens and reds and oranges and yellows. So I'm going to ink up the whole thing. Can you get this in a full-size pad? Yes, absolutely you can. It's the same size as a standard Memento pad. We usually sell the dewdrop because I don't know how often you're going to want to do this technique, and the dewdrops are inexpensive. I want to say they're $2.29 each, and they can be re-inked. So the benefit about this technique is that if you miss a spot on your stamp, it doesn't matter. In fact, okay, I missed a little spot there. Let's just say I missed a little spot there. And let's say I missed that spot there a little bit. So let's see what happens. Put my paper on it. Give a good press. If you can't, just get something with a flat surface. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. You all have stamp pads in your arsenal. Grab one of them and use them. Okay. Oh yeah. See, I missed a little bit down there, and I missed a little bit up here. What you have is a super light image that is going to allow us to make it look like it was hand-drawn. I mean, you can already see the difference. Now, it's not so light that you can't see it, because it's toffee crunch and it's got good color to it. But let's take and do watercolor first. So I'm going to bring back over my watercolor pencils, and I'm going to grab a red or a pink. How about a hot pink? Well, pink I probably should have used gray, but we're going to go for it. It's only ink, it's only paper right now, right? What if I just went in and literally drew right on top of the stamped image lines for my big flower? All I'm doing is drawing right over them, and you don't have to be precise. And this is where, if you missed a spot in the stamp, no big deal. We're just going to draw it right on in. Hello. And all I'm doing is tracing over what's already there. And again, I'm not worried if I'm off a little bit. I'm just getting myself in there and getting it done. Just give a nice trace. And here. And here. So anywhere where your stamped image isn't exactly the way it was supposed to be, like see right here. If that was black, you'd want to go back in there and either use your stamp press to restamp it or fix it, but I don't care. I'm just going to go right over the top. Done. Except for that one line right there. Okay, so I just traced it out. That's all I did. Now I'm going to take a little bit of my paper or a little water, paintbrush, and let me get a little closer. And I'm not gonna think too hard about this. I'm just gonna go in and start grabbing some of that color from the side because I'm using watercolor. And I'm just gonna start pulling that color into my petals. Start pulling that color. Right into my flower. A little more water if I need it. And you see I'm not adding any more paint to it. I don't have to. I've got the paint from where I drew. And I can blend and move it around. And ultimately what that's going to give you is a look like you hand drew the flower, because that toffee crunch that was underneath, well, it's now gone. You covered it up with the ink, with the pencil. And can you see I'm really just getting in there and moving it around? You just want to apply some color and move on. A little bit of a lighter touch is helpful. Bam! Done! But you don't see the toffee crunch underneath it at all. And it gives you that beautiful watercolor look. Could I come back in and add more color? Sure. If I wanted some darker color, again, I could put some over here on my paintbrush or on my palette here and pull it in, and I could maybe go back in and add a little darker color here and there for some more highs and some more lows. Sure, I could. But you're like, but Stacy, why are you doing this? What is the point? Why do I not just stamp it in the black and go for it? Well, you can, but this gives you a little bit more of that hand-drawn look. And it allows you to then move next door in a totally different color. Let's see, what if we did that one in, we did that one in an orange maybe. So I've got my orange, and now right next door to it, I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm just going to trace around. And if I go outside the lines a little bit, I don't care. It's going to have that beautiful watercolory look. And I can butt it right up to my red rose or my pink rose. And I didn't have to use a different color ink. It would be very hard. You'd have to take, if you wanted to do this in different colors, by stamping in different colors, you would have to really be careful in coloring one section in the red with your, let's say, your Tombow markers, and then you'd have to be careful over here in your orange, and you'd have to color up the whole stamp before you stamped it with multiple markers. So now I can come in here maybe I add just a little bit more, just towards the top. I'm just scribbling in some red or salmony color. And when I say scribble, I'm not kidding. I mean scribble. And now add some water and kind of blend them. Until I'm all the way done. Remember, less water is better. You can always add more water when you're watercoloring, but if you put too much water down in the beginning, well, then it dilutes that ink or that paint that you've got, the pencil that turns into paint right on your paper if you use too much water in the beginning. So less is more. You can always add more water to dilute it down and to make it move easier. And I'm going across them. I want to move them down and blend it. And because I'm using watercolor pencils, I can't come back in with my water or with my pencil until my water is completely dry, unless I do it off and do a palette paint. And let's add a little bit more orange to it. And some orange around the center. And then let's do that brown for the center a little bit. It's not wet right there, so I could put it right there. And done. If I wanted to wait till it's dry, I could do that and then come back with my pencil, or come in with a darker color and come around and go around and highlight it even more. But while it's wet, you really want to stay away from it. But I could definitely go back in and add and highlight it even more. Options are yours, but it does give you more of that hand-finished look. You lose the stamped image into the paper, and all you see, it's like you painted them from scratch. and you don't have to tell anybody any different. But what if you're saying watercolor is not for me? I don't know, I'm not sure. I have colored pencils, Stacy. I've had them forever and I don't know what to do with them. Well, you can do the same thing with your colored pencils. So we're gonna get rid of the water now and we're gonna come back to colored. And let's do in the same colors. So here, I'm going to go ahead and put my color down at the bottom. I'm gonna kind of trace them all out. And again, I'm not being overly accurate, so if I'm not exactly on that stamped line, I'm okay because I know I'm going to move color. And remember, can you see this one? I didn't get a good stamp there. I'm just going to draw it in. Done. And then I'm going to add a little color towards the bottom. And then instead of using my water and my paintbrush, I'm going to use my Gamsol and my paper stubby. Now, let's say you want to change the color of your paper stubby and you don't want to use orange, you want to use pink. Well, the kit that we sell comes with this sandpaper. And because this is compressed paper, all you have to do is sand it until the color comes off. And if your sandpaper stops working, you probably get 10 sheets of sandpaper. You just pull it off and go to the next one. So I'm going to put this in my Gamsol. Now, if you have Gamsol and it does not have a little foamy top to it, put your Gamsol in a little cup, like for salsa, and put some a cotton ball in there and put some Gamsol on top of that so you have something to dip into. If I were to take this stubby, which is compressed paper, and put it into my Gamsol, well, this is so porous, it would suck all that Gamsol up into the stubby and you'll never get it out. It's just a waste of good product. So now I'm just going to come in here and do the same thing. I think I'm with my paintbrush. Do the same thing and start to pull that color in and out. Kind of soften those lines just a little bit. Whew. I left negative space so I can have some highs and some lows. Left that negative space. I'm just pulling it out from the center, and then I'm just kind of following along and blending that line in a little bit. Just kind of softening that line that I drew. Is it this fast and easy? It really is. Does it take a little bit of practice? Of course it does. You didn't learn to roller skate the first time you put your skates on, did you? Bam. Done. Go in, grab a little bit of a brown, a little bit of brown. I need to leave negative space. So when I pull that brown, well, I've got orange on this one, but that's okay. Orange and brown, they go together. When I pull that out, it's got a place to go. Okay, what do you think? Easy, right? And it totally disappears. The lines are gone. Let's grab that green. Grab this green. And I'm going to trace my leaves. And again, it is by no means perfect. The lines are wonky, they're a little wobbly. And then I can grab my stubby and my Gamsol. And go off the sides and pull that color in. Oh, maybe I'll add a little, nope, wrong color. Green, hello. Maybe I'll draw a little bit more down at the bottom to pull a little bit up. So I just added a little more color towards the bottom, just so I have something to pull up when I add my Gamsol. And then do the sides. That looks pretty good. And I'm just kind of going over the lines that I drew to soften them just a little bit. But I do want it to look like I drew it. Ha 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 ha. Okay, you have options. You have lots and lots and lots of options. No question about it. Here's the same green in watercolor. Watercolor, I'm just gonna go right around my little leaves here. Put a little bit down at the bottom. Grab my paintbrush, a little bit of water. So I put a little bit of green. Same green as that. Right there, only now I'm doing it with watercolor. Pull that color. Oh, I got it wet. Soften those edges just a little bit. And away you go. Just depends upon what style you like better, what pencil you're more comfortable working with, because you can use both. You can use them together, you can use them separately. It's up to you. But what you've created is an image that doesn't look like it was stamped. Ta-da! Look at the difference. Big difference, right? And you may want some of your projects done with the black ink or with a dark ink and then colored in. And you may want some of your projects without anything looking like you've stamped it at all. You may already have gray flannel and toffee crunch in your arsenal. These are the two that we go to. Claire uses these all the time when she watercolors, all the time. And then you're left to die cut. So then you're left to die cut. I've got my magnetic platform, a cut plate, I've got my paper, my die on top of my cut plate. It's going to kind of hold in place because of that magnetic platform. I've got a do not cut plate on top. And I'm going to send it on through. Okay, once. And it's up to you if you want to come backwards, you can. It's already in there. It's a open frame die, so it's not intricate at all. 2. Perfect. Just perfect. If I don't want to use such a big die, if I want to mat this on something, then I just take maybe I even want to go smaller than that. Oh, let's use this one. We haven't used this one yet. Let's use the smallest one. Maybe that's all I want. Bring my machine over, line it up where I want it. Oop. Send it on through. Front, back, pop it on out, and then let's see, what do we have? I'm trying to see what paper favorites paper I have that this would go really well with. Oh, well, that's kind of pretty. Gosh, this is such pretty paper. That's kind of pretty too. I don't know, it all kind of looks good. It's hard because there's not many I don't like in this whole collection of their first 6 pads. That is for sure. Gosh, I don't know. They all kind of look good, right? Ooh. I don't know. I kind of really like that one, but then I would need to mat it. I don't know if I've got a Sizzix color that will work. That's too bright. Huh. Oh, can I get away with a gray? can. Oh, that looks so good. Who knew? Okay, so I'm probably going to have to finish this. Well, not today, not in front of you. But I do think I will just mat this down so you can see. Who would have thought the gray would have looked so good, but it does. Okay, I think that's good, and we'll cut. Cut maybe there. And take a little off the side, a little off the top, a little off the side, and see how close we come. Now I would have finished coloring this whole thing. Well, a little more off the side. Oh, so pretty. All right, folks, we did a lot today. Holy smokes, artichokes. We originally started with just die cutting. Just die cutting. Oh, I've got stuff everywhere. So that you can see how the Slimline dies are able to be nested into each other, make frames for each other, make beautiful, beautiful elements that are so easy. I mean, you can just layer and layer and layer and layer. So we die cut first. Then we talked about different colored pencils, watercolor pencils versus regular colored pencils, and how to use them best. Gosh, I was playing with this one earlier. So I did this one a little bit earlier. That's all with watercolor. I like that too. Then we stamped with black ink and really talked about the difference between a colored pencil and a watercolored pencil, and that you have to decide what works best for you. Are you happy with more watercolory or with more colored pencil-y? Are you happy with more watercolory or more pencil-y with your Gamsol? Or you like them both and you just want to do what you want to do when you want to do it, and that's fine too. But then we really talked about taking a light ink and stamping in that light ink so that you can make something that looks like, gosh, like it's almost disappeared by the time you're done, like you hand drew the entire stamped image. Easy to do and very inexpensive to buy the two inks. And like I said, oh my goodness gracious, many of you may already have these in your arsenal. Many of you may already have Gamsol in your arsenal. So, you know, if you're on a crafty budget, absolutely take advantage of the things that aren't so easy to get. The Find It dies for $14.99. The Stampendous here, the Find It dies at $14.99 each. Now, I didn't even use this one yet. I'll show you samples with this one, but gosh, this is probably one of the best all-purpose dies no matter what you're doing, because you can cut edges for any size card, or you can do them for a layout. They're so long. So Find It has got 4, I'm going to go back a little bit, 4 new Slimline dies. $14.99 is our price. We are limited in what we have. And then Stampendous has 6 new stamps. Wait till you see the samples with all of them. And they have the block to go with. phenomenal price. Then we have the cute little Gamsol kit. So you get the Gamsol, you get 2 stubbies, you get the eraser, and you get a nice little how-to, just in case you forget how to use it. Gosh, what else? Oh, we have the beautiful paper from Paper Favorites. All of it's gorgeous. There's not a bad pack in any of it. And these are their first 6 packs. I'm anticipating that there will be more to come, but they're just all lovely. They really are just lovely. So we have that for you. We use the Sizzix Mystical cardstock. I believe we're sold out of the Opulent already, or there's just a few packs left, but definitely the Mystical cardstock pack. And when the Opulent comes back in, gosh, I would pick that up then too. All right, and we'll put the watercolor pencils and the colored pencils on sale as well. Surprise! And then last but not least, the Big Shot. Get the Big Shot and the magnetic platform, everything you need, all in one package for $119.99 plus shipping. And I have Victorious Victor and Sizzix Sarah and Mr. Big Shot David to thank for that. Okay, samples. Are you ready? Because I've got oodles of them. Holy smokes, have I made a mess. Okay, I already showed you this one. Stamped in black. Here is, look at the border. This is using the Find It border dies that are for Slimline. Isn't that beautiful? And here we use the Slimline stamps from Stampendous, and we didn't make a Slimline card at all. Look at how cute. You don't have to use the stamps just for big Slimline cards. That's the beauty of it. Whenever something's bigger, you can always do something smaller. But if you want to do something smaller or bigger and you only have a small stamp and you want to make it bigger, it's a little bit more of a challenge. Here is the birthday. Now we don't have these were fussy cut. We don't have the cupcakes yet, but the birthday background stamp, look at how cute is that. I think I'm gonna go back a little bit further because these are really big. How cute is that? And then look at how soft is this. Look at how soft. I'm gonna turn it this way just so it's easier to see. Look at how beautiful is that. And that's done with the striped paper from Paper Favorites and the Find It die and the Stampendous stamp, and that is Toffee Crunch is what she stamped in. And here you just have a beautiful Slimline using the paper from Paper Favorites. You've got the Slimline die from Find It, the striped papers from Paper Favorites. It's so pretty. And then look at this one. Again, you've got the Find It die. You've got the edge dies from Find It that did the clouds and the grass. You get 2 different grass and 2 different clouds to make a scene. I didn't even touch those today. Look at how cute is this with the happy birthday. And this was just colored in with plain old markers. Look at how vibrant and happy that is. And cut out with the, well, the background is done with the Slimline and it's in the striped paper from Paper Favorites. Pretty, right? Pretty. Here's another done in the Toffee Crunch. Claire is a master at watercoloring. She does such a beautiful job. Doris is a master at blends. Her blends are amazing. And then you have Sarah. Sarah, who sees, she's very much like SMS girl Belinda, who sees things in a totally different way. Oh, see here, this is using the center die that comes with it to cut the little windows. And then we use the grass die to put the grass behind them. And the edge here, you've got the dotty edge all the way around. And another happy birthday with the Slimline Stampendous stamp. And with, oh, this paper is beautiful. This is the paper favorites, and we've cut the holes because one of the dies comes with the 3 holes, so you can cut windows out and put paper behind it. And you've got the Sizzix paper, and you've got the Find It dies. So pretty. And then look at this. Gosh, they're gorgeous. But we're not done. I showed you this one earlier. Here's another Celebrate Happy Birthday, done with the Slimline dies and the Stampendous stamps. And I showed you this one earlier. This is just using strips of the Sizzix Opulent Mystical paper and the paper favorites, and just layering them down and making your own background paper. And then the Find It Slimline dies. Here we've used the edge die from Find It. See, isn't that useful? Look at how cute is that, because they are so long. You could have done a card this size or a card this size or a card this size, because that die has the length to give you the opportunity to do anything that makes your heart happy. Here, no coloring at all. Just die cutting, a little bit of ink around the edges. Here, minimal coloring. The stamps from Stampendous really speak for themselves. They really do make the entire card if you would like them to. Look at this one. So this is layering 2 stamps together. And then we have here. And again, this is taking the scraps from the leftover paper from Paper Favorites that the girls were using. And she's got leftover opulent paper. And she's used, gosh, 2 of the different Find It dies. Well, 3 actually, because you've got this one is also one of the Find It's. See, I told you. I said wait for it. How beautiful is that? And it can go either way. You want it this way? You want it this way? That's the stamp from Stampendous, and it's been embossed. And look at this paper from Paper Favorites. Isn't that an aw? Aw. Okay, and here we've used the edge on a smaller card and the paper from Paper Favorites. And here we've used the grass from the edge dies. I don't know where you're going to get that many edge dies for $14.99 in that size. I could not do it. Nope. Nope. If Remco is going to do it at Find It Trading, I am going to support him wholeheartedly. Are we loving the samples? This again, made of leftover strips of paper that the girls had when they were all done finishing making samples. They just had, you know, little bits and bobs of this and that. And Doris just lined them all up to make this sweet card. And again, This is the edge dies. Put two of them, cut them twice, back to get the whole little piece out. And there's the paper favorites. That's just paper favorites. That's just the sheet of paper. That's all that's on there. And the decor down here. And some twine. I'm telling you, the paper favorites really makes a card. And then look at how beautiful is this. Gosh, I hope I can get the glint up. It's so pretty. And this one's done in Toffee Crunch too. And then we have Sarah, who has put together, hers are on little easels. Hers are cute, aren't they? So she used the cloud dies to do the sides. And then the paper favorites. The bee in center is from paper favorites. It's part of one of the sheets of paper. And she's made hers stand up on a little easel and did some altered art. There's one of Sarah's. Here's one of Sarah's where she's done her little paper dolls out of the paper favorites. Look at that. Isn't that so cute? And you've got the die from Find It and opulent paper and paper from paper favorites. So this is Sarah, who just really thinks out of the box, and I love this one. I do. She's got this shell, and it's kind of a snail, also on a Look at how cute is this? Right? All right, you guys, it's me. It's been long, but it's always long. I hope you stayed with me because there was so much to show and so much to share. And gosh, wonderful products from manufacturers like Find It Trading or Paper Favorites that you may not know too much about. And then new product from Stampendous that is just mwah, love, love, love. So, if you see anything here that you like, you're welcome to shop at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. There's lots of things in this YouTube that are exclusive to us, but by all means, if you can go get the mementos from your local retailer, go shop with them. If they've got some cardstock that'll make your heart happy, go shop with them. Absolutely. Get what you can get locally and then shop online. We value all of you as customers, but we also value independent mom and pop shops just like us. So it is me, Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. I will see you all next week, and a big thank you to Sizzix Sarah and Victorious Victor for getting me that price on the Big Shot machine in under 15 minutes. You never want to give them too much time. Bye, everybody.